Hey guys, Oversized Still over here, and welcome to the Oppaifu interview. We are in episode 5, and I'm very excited to actually bring in a person that I've been a fan of for many, many years. And this is going to be, as of now, the biggest interview I've done so far. And so I want to introduce this person. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello guys, I'm WitchKing00. I'm a hentai artist, as you may know, you follow me, and here I am, ready for an interview. Let's see how it goes.
Yes, this is the Witch King. This is him. The first question is, what inspired you to become an artist?
Well, what inspired me to become an artist? This is the question that everybody asks me. And I have to say that since I am a kid, I always liked to draw. Since I was maybe 4 years old, 3 years old, if I have a chance to get a pencil on me, I draw. I remember destroying my mom's table, my mom's walls, because I like to draw every time in the school when I wasn't in class. I was drawing in height. And all because when I was watching cartoons and I was watching back in the 90s, I wanted to draw always what I watch in the TV. I grew up with Dragon Ball, I grew up with Ninja Turtles, and I always wanted to draw that. I don't know why I feel I like it to draw. And little by little, I have been practicing until now, and it's what inspired me to draw. Maybe I can say the cartoons and the video games inspired me to be an artist and draw and do what another artists do, because I wanted to be the same like them. I wanted to, for example, Dragon Ball. I'm a big fan of it, and I always like to draw Dragon Ball. This is how I become an artist, because it's what I like. What I always have been doing since I was a little.
Yeah, so I love your art style, by the way, how you actually draw your characters, because it's unique. It's a very, I call it Western look, because it's like Western and anime. It's like kind of a blended mix, which I really do appreciate.
Correct. They call it Western art. Yes.
Yes. And so what inspired you to, what was the first really ecchi that you saw, or hentai that you felt, hey, I want to draw these characters really erotic here?
What inspired me to start to become more adult style, more ecchi, more, because first I didn't draw so much hentai right now. I remember when I was when appeared Tomb Raider 2, the video game. I'm a bit old, I have to admit. But when appeared Tomb Raider 2, the video game, the classic Lara Croft, it was a hit and everybody was crazy about her. And I remember I was like, let me see if I can draw Lara Croft. Then I remember my friends have some comics about Danger Girl. I started to watch some anime where it's more for adult audience than Dragon Ball, this kind of more like a Battle Angel, Akira, more adult content, and appear naked girls and appear some erotic scenes. And I was thinking like, I can draw this too, because I also was waking up my hormones and I wanted to draw this kind of girl. So I remember starting to draw Tomb Raider, a lot of Kami. Kami was for me at the beginning, but I was very bad at it. I was drawing very bad. I didn't know how to draw girls. I was terrible doing that. So it is what gave me the feeling I had to learn how to draw girls. I had to learn how to draw this kind of style of art. And I started little I moved to draw Sonics, Ninja Turtles, and Dragon Ball to be more focused on girls in my intimacy. Nobody know I was doing that. I was more in high. This is how I start little by little, thanks to Tomb Raiders, Street Fighter with Kami, some anime that I watched in my TV, because in Spain every Tuesday they have a night, very late at night, they have one show that every week have one new anime show for adult audience, that I discovered things that as a kid I didn't know.
You've drawn a lot of different characters over the years, which I have seen, like you see like Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. So I've seen you draw like really nice fetishes when it comes to like futanari, obviously really huge breasts, which obviously that's my taste, obviously. And then but you really make it innovative, and you even add a little bit extra color to your art, like to really make the character stand out well. And then I guess you do comics, right?
Yes, but all these things, funny part is that at the beginning, when I started to draw hentai officially online and all this, I didn't was too much into futanari, into big breast size and all this. It was more like a normal naked girls, and this is because I start to get commissions when I start to get people asking me, hey, you can draw this for me by as a commission. They introduced me the futanari, the big breasts, and I was at the beginning it was like, wow, futanari. Is a girl with a dick? Is a man? Is a woman? Is what is this? Then I little by drawing it, and I start to discover this fetish, this kind of art. When I was started to think, hey, this is good, I started to implement it, and people started to know me for this. When I didn't know that my pictures about futanari and big breasts girls was getting much more famous than other kind of pictures, then it's when I decided to focus on that. I get into it, and now when I do draw comics, is suddenly I draw big breasts, big cocks, and also I like too big busty girls in anime, in real life. So it was easy for me to get into that new style.
It's cool because normally I ask people, hey, what got you into big breast content? And people would say it's from an ecchi or hentai, but for you, it was from a commission. So that's a bit unique. I mean, that's something I didn't really know about.
Yes, maybe because at the beginning I didn't think that art as a lifestyle for me, but when I started to feel that this was going on success and people like it, and I also I like it too, then I started to become more brave.
I really discovered you back in like I don't remember what year you first started. Probably around the early 2010s.
It's when I started. I think when I started 2010 or 2010, 2011, more or less.
It was around.
I forget. Even I forget.
Yeah, it was around that time is when I discovered you, when you kind of first started, and I saw you draw like these really busty characters, but your art style was really unique, and I was like, oh wow, like I like this. And I see you do comics. I was like, oh, this is cool, because at the time I just discovered just regular anime artists, so I never really discovered anybody did Western art. So you're actually one of the first Western artists I've ever discovered.
I'm glad to be the one.
Yeah, but now I discovered a lot of Western artists. You might have heard of, I'm gonna shout out this name. You probably heard of this person. He's another Western artist. He's actually from Mexico. His name is Gula Visual.
Maybe I know, but by name I don't know. I know too many artists that I forget someone.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna try to interview him, but he's been really hard to kind of contact. What is actually a curious question? What's the largest breasted character you've ever drawn?
Well, this is the largest breast I ever drawn. It was, I think it was in a comic. One of my comics is Teen Titans. I don't know if you know the comic Teen Titans.
Yeah.
I did once. I think it's the second part. No, the first part. The comic was based on age progression, where the girls, for some magical artifact, they got bigger, more big, they thicker. So in the last moment, to make a joke in the ending, I made that this artifact gets crazy and let their boobs get even bigger than the whole thin tower where they are living, and the breast explodes out of the building because they are huge. This was the biggest I draw, but I remember I have just some sketches I do for people that they are very big too, even maybe 10 times the size of the girl.
I mean, luckily for me, I have no limits, so anything bigger.
I saw your channel. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I do appreciate you going above and beyond how it's okay for have some people, if they have a certain limit that they like for the proportions of the character, but it's always more fun to draw them as big as you can. Like say, hey, I like this character, but I want her a lot bigger. What would she look like? You know? So yeah, I do appreciate you going out of your way, and it still looks good, and that's really what counts. But here's another question. What got you started to do YouTube?
YouTube was because I wanted to expand a little bit my social network, my websites, and I remember at once when I was doing streams on Picard.tv. I know you know this platform, where it's a platform you can do streams drawing, but you can draw hentai and you cannot have any problem. I was thinking maybe it's good to make some videos, because I know not everyone like to draw streamings. People like in YouTube watch it when they can, when they want, and watch a video. And I wanted to expand a little bit, and I started to do it on YouTube. I started to record myself drawing, and at the first I do very simple videos, just me speed drawing it. Then little by little I add music, then I add some videos with me commenting what I'm doing. Was trying to find different ways to expand and let people know my art. The problem is that YouTube, the problem I have is when I edit the video, it takes me so much time, and I have no time to spend on that. And I had to stop it for a while, then little by little I like I said, maybe I have 3 years I didn't post any new video in YouTube. Always want to recover it. I want to continue YouTube. I'm too busy to find a way to spend maybe one night editing the video in a very simple way.
How long does it take for you to do a specific art? Like, how long does it really take you until you're done?
I can tell you by different kind of stuff. For example, if I do a character, one single character, with a background, maybe it can take me 2 hours, 3 hours, and then it's done. If I have to do a comic page, it takes me maybe 2 days or 3 days if I only focus. My problem is when I draw, I watch something in the internet or some people speak with me and I start to draw. But usually it takes me 1, 2, 3 days for a comic page. For a single character, if I focus to draw only the character, I can do it in 2 or 3 hours and with color and all. Even now, I do sometimes videos in 1 hour, but very simple pictures. But I have to just focus on drawing.
There's one thing I want to say is I do appreciate what you do, and continue to do what you do. I love the type of content you've actually really improved over the years. But now I guess the last question is, where can people find you?
Where can people find me? Just now, my main page is where you can find everything I do or post or information is my Twitter, X, or in Patreon. I pass my art to be patronized, so I'm in Twitter. There I announce everything, what I'm doing, everything about my life, about pictures, about everything I post. When I do a new post in Patreon, when I have something I want a new contest or I do some promotion, everything is in Twitter. Also, I have a Discord channel. It's public. You can join. Not be a community, but this is a healthy community. We are good people in there. We talk about things. We can share your art. You can share what you like. Also, I have my Pixiv. I have DeviantArt, but the main is Twitter and Discord and page. I don't know why I started to change a lot DeviantArt, and there is a moment where a lot of artists abandon ship DeviantArt, and now it's you go inside. All is about AI, everything about art. So there is not so much traffic of people in there, and also I can see the people who comment, who see my pictures is much more or less than before. So I moved to Twitter.
But yeah, man, I want to appreciate you for having the time to do this interview. This was really awesome. I want to let everybody know, please bear with him here, for his English. I do appreciate you doing the best you can here. So I'm gonna let everybody know in the comments. And like I said, I had another person last week or 2 weeks ago that was actually from another country and didn't have the best English, but he did the best he could. For everybody that has been watching, please follow him. Link will be in the description of everything you could follow on his Twitter X and his Patreon. And please give this person a look. And if you guys are unfamiliar to Witch King, if you guys are new, please check out the stuff. If you guys love Western art, if you love a variety of big breast, Futanari, he does a variety of different fetishes, which I do appreciate. His art style is unique. I think you guys are really going to enjoy his stuff.
For this a chance.
As we all should know, Oppai is plot.